Today's video is another virtual assistant interview with a fellow VA that I've known for a while, and I actually met her in my church community. So this time the setup is a little personal because we will be talking face to face. We actually did this video before our rehearsal. So, and it's a little fun to do it because we have to do this in two different places. So anyway, as I interview her, she will be also sharing with you one of my favorite topics, which is why you need to identify your ideal client and the simple process that you can apply to do that. Hey there, this is Connie Zabala and I'm here to help you get your time freedom back. As I've said, I will be having a video interview, so I will go ahead with a video. But before that, let me share a little about herself. She's a mom of 3 and she's been a VA for years as well, but she's now focusing on coaches and online course creators and helping them with the techie stuff. And he's also homeschooling her children. Can you believe that? So let's go ahead with the interview. Let's all welcome Belle Prado.
Hi everyone!
So Belle, can you tell us more about yourself, how you started, and how did you become a VA?
Yeah, so I remember hearing about being a virtual assistant way back. I think it was 2005.
Wow.
So it was really, that phrase is really kind of
Pioneer.
new. Yeah, kind of new at that time. But then the funny thing about it is, like after I attended so many workshops about being a VA and all, I still haven't felt that, courage to take the leap because I was really so immersed in my corporate job. At that time, I was my work actually is in IT. I was an analyst programmer first in IBM for about 3 years. And then I moved to Emerson Network Power and stayed there for 14 years, so that long. So 17 years working in the corporate world. And then, but then virtual assistants, I've been hearing a lot about that because I've been to so many groups. I don't know if you're familiar with the work at home moms. Like it was under Martin De Luna at that time. So I was part of that. But then I'm always in the lurker mode audience. I'm not really applying whatever I was getting from that group at that time because I was thinking I had so much to sacrifice when it comes to IT really pays well. So it was really a struggle of me deciding should I take the leap and embrace the uncertainty that goes with the being a freelancer and all. So that's basically how I started with fear.
And when did you officially became a VA?
So it was 2014 when I resigned from Emerson.
Oh, Emerson.
And then, at that time, actually, when I resigned from my corporate job, I was not thinking of being a freelancer. I was not thinking of transitioning into a freelancer. John and I just decided that I should be staying at home because that's my ultimate goal, my ultimate dream actually. When going back years back when I had Jella, my first daughter, I already have this longing to be. I should be at home. Like when you give birth, there's this guilty feeling like it's something that really makes you somehow it made me less of a mom. Like I'm not always there, and I kept on missing a lot of milestones. Like I remember there was this instance when I had to watch my kids perform in school. I was there, and then my superior at that time asked me to go and join a conference call. Imagine the frustration. So I was there inside our car in the driver's seat, and then the presentation is ongoing at the the school grounds, the quadrangle. So my kids field demonstration is right there. I am seeing them perform, but I'm not taking any pictures. I'm not taking any videos because I was inside the car in the conference call. So really, that was actually that was the last straw. But I thought, "No, why am I doing this? I'm there, but I'm not physical. I'm not
Present.
Yeah, I'm not that present. I'm present, but I'm not that present. So that actually was a kind of tug of war. That's an internal struggle on my part because we were thinking, can we sustain if it would only be John who would be the sole breadwinner, di ba? Right? So from a two-income household, we decided to, that I should take the leap because I have this dream. I have to do this now or never na. So I resigned from work and with faith. John and I actually computed our expenses, and at that time we were feeling so blessed because at the time when I submitted my resignation letter, that was the time that John also transferred to another company. So it meant an increase to his income. So Lord, we must be doing the right thing because everything is kind of falling into place. So there.
So there you go. I think one of my questions would be, why have you decided to work from home? I think you got that covered. So let's go ahead with the questions. So when you were starting, what's your understanding when you heard the word virtual assistant for the very first time?
Yeah, the first time I heard about virtual assistants, I was thinking like it has something to do with an assistant that is working at home. Like
Yeah.
it
Common misconception.
yeah, that the work would only require you that you know how to manage emails, like how to do file organization, like Google Docs, MS Office, and all like admin work. Little did I know that virtual assistants can be a lot of things, a lot of skills. So it doesn't have to be like general administration only.
Yes.
So that's my first understanding of the phrase.
Okay. Next question. Since you already said that you work in a corporate, what was your position that time?
I was an Oracle system specialist. So our platform is Oracle e-business suite. So it's a we're supporting our manufacturing plants for Emerson Network Power. So that's basically it.
Okay. So, how long it took you to finally say to yourself that you can do this? How long?
So I mentioned that when I resigned, I really wasn't thinking about going into freelance. So it took me around a year because when I resigned, I enjoyed the feeling of being a stay-at-home mom. I really immersed myself in that quote unquote lifestyle because honestly I thought I wasn't used to that because the routine for almost half of my life is like you wake up, you say goodbye to the kids and you go to the office, right? And then you go back home, then tell stories like catching up, but it really wasn't that deep connection that you're having with the kids because of the little time. So when I became an official stay-at-home mom, so I was staying at home, and the funny thing about is that given the time, from no time to so many time in my hands, it felt like I was kind of taken aback. Of self doubt came creeping in. Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I being a good mom now that I'm at home? It's funny to think about it, but that was my thought process at that time. Like, are you really meant for being a stay-at-home mom? Is this your um, did you have you made the right decision? Like, it's like a little voice keeps drilling down these thoughts in my head. Like, I made the wrong decision. So I had to step back and then meditate, reflect on it. Like, I realized I was so identified with my corporate job that when it was removed from my system, it felt like a part of my identity got lost. So I was I was semi depressed, so to speak. It was weird actually. So I'm not sure if I'm the only one who has gone through this, but that was my experience. It felt like because I was bringing the kids in school, right? That was my ultimate dream to bring them to school and then fetch them from school. But the whole time they were in school, I was left at home, and so these
More
thoughts,
freedom.
more freedom and more it really pushed me to really look inward. I guess it was a retreat, so to speak. That I didn't have to go to a far away, like in a Tagaytay retreat house to get into that reflective mode. I was left at home. So I was having these thoughts, parang, oh my God, what's happening? At that time, I was telling John, my husband, I don't know what's happening with me, but that was it. At night before I sleep, I was having these thoughts like, did you make the right decision? So many negative thoughts, and then I learned how to meditate. So that, in a way, really helped to silence the chatter. So that really helped, and then I got more clarity on what I wanted to do.
Hey, if you're liking this video, why don't you go ahead and click that like button?
Months later, that's when I realized that I was being like the mommy part of me is being fulfilled, but I realized that I have this part of me that I still need to use my talents and skills, right? Like, it doesn't have to be you choose one over the other. That's what I realized. I can explore on my skills, and that should not make me feel guilty if I decide to use that skill. So for me, that was tech. So so I started looking for for online jobs because I thought that what's keeping me from getting jobs, right? The kids are in school. I have all the time to work. I have spare time to work. So that's when I started looking for work, and then the depressing thing, I looking back, one of the mistakes that I did when I was starting out in the freelance world, I was trying to look for a job that is similar to what I was doing in the corporate world. So I was laser focused on getting Oracle, Oracle, Oracle. That because that was my platform. That's my expertise, and it was really frustrating because I can't find any job openings that are related to that niche. Looking back, I realized that companies would rather hire Oracle consultants that are on site. Fewer companies will hire virtual consultants because there are system issues, like they have to solve it the shortest time possible. The consultant is already there. So from that time, that's when I thought of changing gears. I think I have to explore other options. From that decision, when I decided to look for VA jobs, I was considering myself as a newbie. I wasn't thinking that I know how to figure out things. I can do this, I can do that. I wasn't that wasn't my mindset back then. I was thinking that, like, oh my God, I have to learn how to use Asana, the project management software, the Trello, and all. I don't know these software, so I must be a newbie. But it was I realized it was the wrong mindset. I shouldn't be thinking that
So,
way because
in connection to that, what should be the right mindset?
the right mindset should be really you consider your soft skills as, for me, they're more important than the software and the applications and all. Because if you have the soft skills, like you're tech savvy, you already have the advantage. Like if a client throws this and that software at you, you already know that I can figure this out because I have the tech skills. I'm tech savvy, so I don't have to be scared of being introduced to new software, new platforms, because I'm tech savvy. That's it. And same goes with people who are their skills include being organized, right? It's a skill.
Yes.
It's a skill.
Yes.
And they were newbies, don't realize how important that skill is. Like if you're organized compared to someone who is already technical, tech savvy, the client would still prefer that person who is organized, right?
Because they hired you for being organized. Tell us more about the very first project you had as a VA and what skills did you offer back then?
My first client is someone from the publishing niche. So I really like that the work that he does, because he's into publishing. He's into self-publishing.
Kindle.
Yeah, both print and ebook on Amazon. Back then, I didn't have a portfolio to show him, but luckily, he gave me a chance because I highlighted my skill that I'm tech savvy and all. I can figure out things on my own. And so he hired me. And from being this VA, he he promoted he promoted me to as his project manager at that time. So I was responsible for overlooking the overall process of his business, like from manuscript submissions up to the last phase, which is marketing the self-published books. So it was an experience that really taught me a lot of software. The way I saw that experience back then, I wasn't thinking actually of just the monetary benefits that goes with the job. I was thinking, and I'm learning so many software. I'm gaining a lot of knowledge from how he runs his business, because before I was thinking like corporate setting, like this client, we were a two men team. It's only before we started. I was the only hire. I was his only VA, but over over the course of months, his business started to grow big, and then he began hiring additional VAs.
So
How
instead
long?
of instead of talking about it on the next video, let's talk about that now on when it comes to requesting an increase for your VA salary. Okay, go ahead.
So I tried. I tried to ask for an increase.
How did you do it?
Through email. I have this script. Unfortunately, he didn't give in.
Oh, okay.
So I have to stand my ground. Yabang na. But because at that time when I tried to ask for an increase, I already have a second client who's paying higher. I told him that I have to end that working relationship, and no hard feelings. It was he understood why I have to go and look for another opportunity.
So for the viewers out there, take note that you can actually have more than one client at once. Okay.
Yeah.
And grab the greater or better opportunity. Next question. Do you have a specific skill now? If yes, what skill are you offering now?
These days, I'm more into the technical setup. Like, my target clients are mostly coaches and course creators. So my services include setting up their course platforms, their courses, and then I also help with email marketing and social media management. So that's basically it.
How did you choose that skill?
I love doing that. I love setting up systems. I love the sometimes there's a little bit of coding, and also that's my way of connecting to my core strength. making
Take him on,
use
take him on.
making use of the 17-year experience working as a coder, analyst programmer. So there.
So you know you can talk to who you can talk to when you have some technical issues. Next question. During your first project, first gig, do you have a working time, a business hours?
Yeah, I was working 40 hours a week.
Wow.
It was full time.
So are you logged in or something?
My client back then was asked me to use Toggle, so I was tracking my time, and then we eventually moved to Hubstaff. I hate that. I hate that time tracker.
It has screenshots
Yeah, like it takes
like Upwork.
yeah,
Data.
so 40 hours a week.
Wow. Okay. But right now, after experiencing that, do you think that today we can work as a VA, but we can work at our own time?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's what I learned in my years of being a freelancer, that I can set my own terms, my own rates, and that being a freelancer, we should always have this entrepreneurial mindset, that we shouldn't be thinking of ourselves like employees.
Yes,
we are
stay
not
with that.
we are not employees. We're not being hired as employees because first, we don't have any benefits. Employees have benefits, right? They have the SSS contribution, pag-ibig, and all that. But freelancers like us, we should be treating our work like our own business. So we're offering a service to these entrepreneurs, and then it's like B2B, business to business. So that's how I see things now. I don't accommodate clients who require part-time and full-time fixed schedules, because I have so many things going on. We're homeschooling, so we have so many activities that I can't afford being tied to a fixed schedule. I have to be flexible.
So take note of that. Okay? So you're not an employee, you're actually an independent contractor. So that means you own your own business, so you handle everything from start to finish, from marketing your business, for getting clients and getting yourself out there.
And you can fire your own
Yes.
clients.
Yes.
Life is too short to be, wasting time on people that are not aligned with your,
Yes.
that you have this toxic vibe. So you are allowed to fire them.
Yes. So if you think you're getting value on this video, consider liking. Don't forget to like and then subscribe if you haven't done so yet. So since we're talking about clients already, I will switch to your tips because Belle has prepared some tips on why is it important to identify your ideal clients. Okay? So take it away.
Yeah, sure. So what is working for me is it's like a 3-step formula. First, you have to make an inventory of your skills, your passions. What are you passionate about? What are your skills? What are you, including the soft skills, huh? And then from that list, you also try to visualize the type of clients you want to work with. Like it it's they are people who gets you excited to know more of about their business. The work that they do is somehow aligned with your own passions. Like for me, personally, I'm into self anything self help, personal development, and yeah, that's it. Self help. I'm laser focused about the type of people that I reach out to. I would normally connect with people from the personal development niche. So the second client that I have is an NLP trainer, and I was really into NLP at that time. I wanted to learn NLP. I was so excited working with him because I have all access to his, because coaches have their own coaches
yeah.
too, right?
Yes.
So he has the Brendan Burchard,
My favorite, my idol, Belle Burchard.
the Master Academy. Is that the name?
High performance.
Yeah, and then so I have access to these courses. So I was really excited, and then Tony Robbins and all. So that's one tip. You should try to look for clients who are of your same interests, because really, if you think about it, you're working from home, right? So if you get work that is not something that interests you, you will procrastinate. You
That
won't
is so true.
you won't feel like working.
Hi, sorry, we changed venue.
Magic.
Anyway, to continue with the tips.
So after you've identified your skill set, and then identify your ideal client, that's the time that you do some sort of matching, like identify your client's pain points, and then think of solutions that you could come up given the skill sets that you have. Like if you're targeting course creators, for example, like for my case,
I'm actually targeting course creators. Yeah.
they're fun to work with. And so particularly looking for clients who are technically challenged, like they're overwhelmed with all the technical stuff that they have to set up a website, a course site. So that is when you come in. That's when you try to fill in the gap. Like they have this need, and then you know how to fulfill that need. So that's what I meant with matching. So that's basically it.
Okay. So those are the 3 tips, right?
Yeah.
3-step process,
Process.
and how to identify your ideal client. So now we have the next section of this video interview. This section would be a fun one because it's about a fast round Q&A, just something that we do for fun. So I will share with you some items, and
Okay.
you have to choose which one, or none, or pass, or whatever. So
Boxers or briefs like that. Lights on, lights off.
something related to our
Okay.
something related something related
go
to
ahead, go
our niche, to what we do. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, coffee or tea,
Coffee.
dog or cat,
Dog.
diet or exercise,
Diet.
YouTube or Facebook.
Facebook.
Okay. Old school notebook or online journal or something.
Both.
Okay. Music or podcast.
Music.
Okay. iOS or Android.
Because I can't afford Android.
+1. Windows or Mac.
Mac if I can afford.
Same answer for me. Even if you're not asking. Ebook or hard copy.
Because I'm trying to become a minimalist. Ebook.
Okay. Last one. Early bird or night owl.
Night owl all the way.
Okay. So there you go. Yay! Now, last part. Before we end this show, what is your one last best tip for those who are starting in the VA industry that are probably thinking of what you offer as well? So what would be your advice to them?
My advice is to really never stop learning. I consider myself as an eternal student. Like I'm not. I'm always hungry. I always wanted to learn something new. So if you have that mindset, one of my favorite mantras is learners are earners. If you have a vast skill set, you could easily monetize that those skills in your arsenal, and then so there, never stop learning. And second one is be persistent. like I've had so many rejections when I was starting out. I was sending so many applications and I'm receiving so many rejections, and I was on the brink of really being depressed because I have this 17-year corporate experience, right? Why am I being rejected now in the freelance world? So be persistent and don't compare yourself with other, the veteran freelancers,
Yes.
because if you compare your current situation with their current situation, it would not really be fair, because pretty sure that they've started from the bottom too, right?
Yes, nobody started great,
Yeah.
actually.
So there, those are my
Okay, so
tips.
if they have some questions or anything that they wanna reach out to you, how can they contact you?
They can um, connect with me at through my Facebook page, facebook.com /socialbellph. That's what I call my brand. And then through my LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in. I'll give you the link, and then Belle-Prado. And also I have the my own Facebook group. If you're a mom, I have the this Facebook group called Enlightened Filipino Moms. They can also join that group.
Okay, I will share in the description below all the links that she shared with us. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much, Belle! Yay!
I had fun. First
Thank you so
time.
much.
Thank you, Cons.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for watching this video. And today's question is actually, what are your takeaways during the interviews or the tips? Share them in the comment section below, and I look forward to reading it. And feel free to watch more videos on this page. Thank you for watching.